James Wilde.
Thank you very much, Madam Deputy Speaker. I'm grateful for the opportunity as we embark on the Government's Back to the Future nationalisation plan, and I'll be speaking to new Clause 35 and Amendments 68 and 69 tabled in my name. And together they are designed to ensure that ministers and Great British Railways treat Ely Junction as the nationally significant bottleneck it is, and they make progress that passengers, freight operators and local communities are entitled to expect. In turning to my amendments, it's important to set out the context within which they sit. Rail services to North West Norfolk are not good enough. There are too many late trains, too many cancellations and too much engineering weekend closures. And those unreliable rail services put people off travelling and have a damaging effect on the local economy and particularly the visitor economy. So my constituents deserve better, and improvements to Ely Junction would help deliver them. So why Ely? Well, put simply, this is one of the most constrained parts of the national rail network. It's a major bottleneck where 5 lines converge. A new Clause 35 would require the Secretary of State, when setting the rail freight target and preparing the statutory rail strategy, to treat Ely as a nationally significant capacity constraint. It would also require a report to Parliament to report on progress, rather than allowing this to just wither on the vine, and show what is being done. And what could be done is backing the Ely Area Capacity Enhancement scheme. This would increase off-peak capacity to 10 trains per hour, enabling additional passenger services to Kings Lynn and elsewhere, doubling freight services from Felixstowe to the Midlands and the North to meet the growing demand, and removing nearly 100,000 lorry journeys annually. And there was real relief across the area when the last Conservative government approved and funded the Ely project in 2023 as part of scrapping parts of HS2. And that was done in recognition of the exceptional cost benefits of this project. £5 of benefits for every pound invested. Compare that to HS2 with a derisory £1.20 for every pound invested in that scheme. And with rail freight demand growing strongly, increasing the capacity of the network is vital, and Amendment 68 would require the rail strategy to include Ely Junction as a key capacity constraint for freight as well as passengers. And that would hardwire it into the system and the long-term decisions that this bill is designed to support. And that's necessary because, as with so many projects, transport projects in the east of England, such as the A47, this government has chosen to pause the Ely scheme and cut the funding. And instead, in the spending review, ministers back projects with much lower benefit cost ratios, meaning passengers continue to suffer from unreliable and less frequent services, more freight is required to use the roads, and the infrastructure fails to meet the demand. Upgrading Ely Junction is about improving connectivity and passenger services in one of the growth parts of the country, supporting our ports and logistics, giving businesses the confidence to invest, and unlocking key housing and employment sites. So Amendment 69 places a specific duty on Great British Railways, the controlling mind in this scheme, in carrying out its capacity function, to have particularly regard to increasing capacity at Ely. Because without such a duty, even if ministers considered that Ely is a problem to be fixed, there's no guarantee that Great British Railways would choose to prioritise it. And through these amendments, Parliament has the opportunity to send a clear cross-party message that this upgrade is essential and further delay is not acceptable. And given the compelling benefits, the £5 for every £1 invested, I hope ministers will accept my amendments today.